Hey, Real Nerds. There's many ways to enjoy the Real Nerds podcast. You can listen to us on Stitcher, iTunes, and now Spotify and iHeartRadio. You can see what we're up to around town by following us at Real Nerds on Instagram. And if you want to send us your thoughts, you can email us at realnerds@gmail.com or call us at 720-6nerds5. Like us on Facebook at Real Nerds Podcast or tweet us at Real Nerds. And now on with the show.
Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast of Denver Pop Culture Con 2021, maybe? No longer 2020.
I don't know. What are you doing Thanksgiving?
Yeah, well, we'll see if Thanksgiving holds. But yeah, we'll just say we're unofficially the official podcast of Denver Pop Culture Con. That's it. Yeah.
Here.
Just assume it's in perpetuity. I am your host, Brad, and with me is...
Zach.
And this is not a regular episode. This is a commentary track, which we don't get to do a lot of, and we should be doing them.
Yes, absolutely, we should. And I say commentaries on all animal-related movies. So next one will be Doolittle, and then followed by that Dr. Doolittle with Eddie Murphy, and Dr. Doolittle 2 with Eddie Murphy. I think we just want to do some Doolittle movies.
Don't listen to Zach. We're not doing any of that. Normally, I guess most episodes are commentary, but this is a movie while you're watching it commentary that we're doing, because we're not involved, so I can't say like it's a director's commentary, or I guess it's a fan commentary, right?
Yeah. I mean, full disclosure. So, I'm not the world's biggest fan in what we're about to talk about. I appreciate what we're about to talk about, and I loved it when I was a kid. So this is actually going to be interesting for me to learn from you, rather than me, talking about something I know a lot about.
Yeah, I don't want you picking up the stuff on the streets. I want you to get it from a reliable source like myself.
Exactly. So, I guess we haven't even revealed what we're going to do the commentary on yet. I mean, people will know, but
yeah, no, I'm going to intro it. So. This week's regular episode is tied to our commentary, our regular episode. I complained enough to Ryan that we should celebrate the 30th anniversary of the first Ninja Turtles movie, which was like 2 weeks ago. So it took Corinne finally insisting, and then he caved, and now we're doing it. We're gonna do an episode dedicated to the first Ninja Turtles movie, which is my favorite movie of all time.
Right. And I'm going to be along for the ride, providing questions for you to answer. So did you see it in the theaters?
I did. I think just one time, because we didn't go to the theaters all that much. But yeah, they released it on VHS, and about like I think 94 when the Power Rangers came around, I kind of gravitated towards that for a bit. But then in high school, I rewatched the movie again and just connected to it even more for some reason.
That does kind of happen though when you get a little bit older. That's what, like, even in your teen years, is when you start kind of going back to those things that made you happy as a kid, because the world of a teenager is sad and depressing, and it's a reminder that we're all going to die. But
yeah, the production design of this movie is like the perfect teenage angst look.
Very much so.
As a kid, you're just it's just this cool thing that entertains you, and then when your brain is more developed, you start noticing like nuance and depth and further meaning behind things. Not that this movie is super deep, but just start to connect with it on different levels. So
right, absolutely.
Yeah, so I'll be, if you got questions, just go ahead and ask them, and I'll try to throw out little trivia nuggets. This is also kind of like a little precursor, because eventually I'm trying to do this like a Shamley style mini podcast about this movie called Teenage Minute Ninja Turtles, where I'm going to chop up the movie into 1 minute segments and then just comment on each of those 1 minutes. So I think this would be the Cliff
which
Notes
I already
version.
know what episode I want to do.
Oh, yeah?
Because it's the one that has virtually nothing to do with the turtles.
Oh.
It's the Golden Harvest.
It's the logo.
The logo, yeah. Actually, on that, I should preface up front. So my turtle appreciation when I was a kid, and I posted a picture of it on the Instagram page, but I had the first movie and the third movie, and I couldn't find the third movie in storage, but for whatever reason, Turtles in Time was the one I rewatched the most. About 2 years ago, Brad showed Turtles in Time at the Bug Theater. And coincidentally, that was my sober birthday. That was the last day I ever had a drink. And I attribute it partially to Turtles in Time sobering me up. But but actually it was funny rewatching it on that big screen, regardless of like what that film was. Like just the fun of revisiting those memories in my head of like, oh yeah, I remember that song there. I remember that they make that Clint Eastwood joke there, and despite what the plot has an issue, like it's still a fun movie. And this first one is absolutely incredible when you're comparing it obviously to the third one, but also just on its own. Like even if this was the only one they made, it's still a good movie.
Yeah, the great thing about this one is it flew under the radar, so no one expected it to be this phenomenon that it became. So you had the director was able to get Jim Henson Studios and the Golden Harvest people and like actually do legit martial arts, and the Ninja Turtles sort of used their weapons a bit. Obviously, they didn't like impale people with swords, but after this, parents got so upset with the violence in the movie, and this is a PG movie, and the violence was pretty tame. But in 1990, people didn't think it was. So movies like 2 and 3, think about it, they never achieved this level of martial arts fighting again.
Yeah, and nor does and the weapons are virtually non-used.
Yeah. The opening scene of 2, they use toys. Like Donatello like throws a yo-yo at someone,
Yep. And in 3, like they're kind of it's weird because they actually like they pull out weapons, like villains pull out weapons and whatnot, but the turtles are kind of relegated to virtually nothing.
Yeah, I mean Walker, like the whole plot is he's selling guns to the warlord, and so they're firing guns, but I guess swords and nunchucks are way more dangerous.
Yeah, it's as if this is all ridiculous.
Yeah,
but
completely arbitrary.
But with the turtles, like I mean, and especially with that, like I mean, my folks never had a problem with it. My mom likes the turtles, and she was definitely, like the parent who would like be careful of what we watch. But like we were a pro turtle family for the most part, and I watched the cartoon a little bit. But after that, up until I met you, I virtually never really thought about the turtles, not out of malice, just wasn't part of my development process. But after knowing you, I would kick back into like, watching turtle related stuff. And this is kind of a culmination of it for me, because now I'm going to get to hear the expert talk.
That's right.
On that note.
Yeah, I was also going to point out, like, back to the violence thing, in England, they're called the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles because ninjas are so frowned upon by that culture. So, and technically, when Eastman and Laird put this together, like this was a joke, right?
Right.
When they wrote the comics. So ninjas are typically like in Chinese culture or Japanese culture, bad guys.
Yeah, assassins.
So they should really be more like the Teenage Mutant Samurai Turtles, which is why in 3 they're really more like samurai aesthetic driven. But ninja rolls off the tongue easier.
But as we all know, my delinquent actual father, Kevin Eastman, doesn't really care about accuracy. What he cares about is a fun title.
It's funny. He was doing a live Facebook broadcast yesterday about the creation of the turtles for everyone, and he talked about how they wanted to honor the the Japanese culture as much as possible. So he does care about it, but again, this was formulated as a joke response to Frank Miller's Ronin Run and Daredevil.
Yeah,
So.
and rewatching the documentary Turtle Power today, I was struck by like that parody of something else. Then in turn, kind of kicked off the boom of black and white comics. So that was pretty fascinating to realize, and that along with the entire story of the marketing, like the licensing of the toys and the creation of the cartoon, like this universe seems so inexplicable when you think about it, but in reality, it's like, of course this would work. It's based off of traditional tropes of, storytelling mixed with this unique creation that they put together just out of doodles that they then formed into a story,
Yeah, it's amazing, like when you treat a property seriously, like how far it'll take it.
Yeah.
Like if it was just a joke, it probably wouldn't have lasted, but the licensing people came in and were like, hey, we can turn this into a silly cartoon show, like, because the comics are not that fun.
Oh, they're dark and gritty.
Yeah, I mean, after the first 5 or 6 issues, the Eastman and Laird kind of stopped doing it all themselves, and they have other artists kind of running the show, and so they take into like weird and wild sci-fi places.
Yeah, and what's interesting, like even when they start getting into the cartoon show, and they talk about it in the documentary how they, are able to create kind of whatever based off of this drawing board of like, well, mutant creatures and sci-fi stuff. What's interesting is how like it's never treated like, it's never like they're never mocking themselves. Like they craft something genuine around it for the most part in the cartoon, from what it seems. Now, I don't know the later seasons that well. The stuff that I watched was a lot of reruns of what I found out were like seasons 3 and 4. But it never seemed like they were like, like it never seemed like they were selling out. Does that make sense? Like even when, I mean, I guess the toy line kind of does with the different variations of Turtles where they have soccer stuff, but it never felt like the universe was ever like doubting itself or just like cashing in on whatever it could possibly do to sell a toy. Like it felt like it had a heart to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Other than those, when they dress up the 4 turtles, that's really just hey, we can sell the same figure 4 times.
Right. That has nothing really to do with the cartoon show. I guess what I'm saying is like, it never lost the sincerity that it holds for itself.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate.
Interesting thing I learned this week while I was working on my new stuff was that because the last season-ish, the turtles gain powers to like self-mutate into like more monster creatures. And apparently that was born out of the 4th turtle movie that never happened before the CGI one. That got scrapped. So so they kind of had these. The 4th movie was going to be like the mutagen somehow like remutated. So yeah, they turned into more feral monsters, so like kind of like the Hulk. So they could like Hulk out at will, and then they kind of
look me when I'm angry, dude.
So yeah, they kind of pushed some of those ideas into the last season of the cartoon show, and then some other ideas became the next mutation. I think that the 4th title was the next mutation for the movie, and then they turned into the TV show, and both those things kind of ran their course. But I mean, 10 years for something, and now we're at this movie is 30 years old, but I think we're almost up to we're at the 34-year mark.
Yeah.
For the actual property, so.
Yeah, and
actually yesterday, April 16th was the anniversary of the release of the first issue. So.
Well, there you go. So this is all tying into a great situation for your fandom of the Turtles.
Yeah, other than coronavirus, this is a pretty good year for Ninja Turtle stuff.
Absolutely agreed. And it's interesting, like even though we're in the Michael Bay produced era of the Turtle films, the TV shows are still managing to put out interesting stuff from what I've been able to gather.
Yeah,
it's disingenuous.
I try to encourage people to check out the 2000. I haven't seen the much of the 2012 or 2018 series, but I'm going to get around to it. But the 2003 show seems pretty standard cartoon fare, and then they started drawing upon little elements from the comics and then tweaking them. And there's this amazing reveal that, like, when I saw it, I was just like, that was brilliant. Like, I didn't see it coming. It's like a fun twist to like explain so many different things that they're doing with the new show, and so definitely check out it's hard to check out the 2003 show because I'm missing some of the DVDs and they're going for like $100 on eBay, so I can't fill those holes right away. But I have most of the other ones, and I'll probably run through again sometime.
Before we jump into the movie, really quickly, Brad and I were going through the prices of different turtle-related products on eBay last night on text, and son of a bitch, that animated series is $125. Now, granted, that's for 10 seasons for that nice bus set.
Oh, the original classic series?
Yeah, I could not believe that it was that high. Like, that's Jason collection level high.
Well, it is the bus, so it is like a limited version of it, because just the jewel case version is running it actually right now at Target and Best Buy for $35. So
yeah, which that one's fine, but like just that very nice version that you should clearly have in your life. It's a crime that it's that much.
Yeah, but it is like that Friday the 13th set where it's it's out of print and it's a very specialized thing. Yeah, like it came out at probably like $80, $90, so it's not too ridiculous, but
yeah. But the pizza box Blu-ray set that I missed out on, because I would have wanted that for the nostalgia of the movies, and I like that 2007 one, which I did see in the theater because I heard Kevin Smith was in it. That's why I went. But
I rewatched it recently, and Chris Evans is Casey Jones in it, which I'd forgotten. So Captain America.
Oh shit! I gotta watch this. It's on Netflix now.
Yeah.
But I remember Kevin Smith plays a chef, or it's not a chef. He's a pizza delivery guy, isn't he?
He's a pizza chef. Yeah.
Yeah, pizza chef. But that collection is like $40. And first you told me no extras, and I'm like, wait, there's no special features? And he's like, no, there's a beanie.
Yeah, there's a beanie and a mini graphic novel of the first movie, but even on the Blu-rays, like there's limited extras. Like TMNT, the CGI one, probably has the most extras. I'm actually surprised, it being the 30th anniversary, that Warner Brothers didn't step in and do a new release, because the UK got when it came out on DVD, they got like a director's commentary special edition deleted scenes version of the DVD, and America didn't. So this would have been a great time to upgrade it to 4K and transfer all those extras over to a new release.
Well, yeah, you may not see that ever unless you just decide to do imports and like get a region-free player.
Yeah, I'll just import it.
Yeah, which I mean, like at this point, I'm tempted to do myself for some Hitchcock movies. So believe me when I say, like, we're all being relegated to this point, because as we've learned in this country, we don't care about stopping crises before they start, and we don't care about physical media anymore. It's the two things we don't give a shit about. Actually, there's 5 more, but whatever.
But we do care about money, so I don't know why they don't want to get money for releasing. If you're going to re-release a Ninja Turtles movie, this is the one that people are going to buy.
Well, they don't want nerd money because they think it'll turn them into a nerd.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nerds keep taking over.
Our money's cursed, Brad. You know that, right?
One more thing before we start. I did do a Ninja Turtles 2 commentary on the website years ago. It's a written commentary, so if you're done with this and you want to read along, I guess, as you watch Ninja Turtles 2, make it a double feature, that is an option, but maybe at some point we'll go back and do an audio one. And then also, in celebration of this 30th anniversary year, I have started a Instagram called Radley TMNT. So just take my name, take the B off, and then TMNT, where I'm posting pictures of my collection. And I've had people reach out and ask me stuff, and so you can do that too if you want.
Yeah.
On Instagram. And it's been pretty fun revisiting. A lot of this stuff has been sitting in storage for like 10 years, and I haven't touched it or looked at it. So I was like, I want to see it again, but I don't want to have to like drive out to Lakewood all the time. So now I can just pop open my phone and be like, oh yeah, that's what the fast forward Leonardo version looks like again. Or do I have Sergeant Bananas? I do. Cool. All right.
And you'll extend that out to other parts of the collection, not just the figures, I'm assuming. So
I originally started the Instagram just for the figures, but people have been asking me like, hey, can you post a picture of your whole collection? I was like, I guess. Like I can't
yeah,
fit everything into a single image. I don't have the space for it, but I think I might do individual photos.
yeah. I mean, even individual photos. If you've got like various different turtle situations, then you might be able to, you know, put those up. So it would be really cool.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of like ways to make them like different because a lot of people kind of just set them on a table and take a picture, but I want to like some of the action figures. I tried to instead of taking pictures, I posted GIFs because they had like action movement, that was worth showing off. So instead of like a photo, it was actually like a GIF or a video. So I'm trying to think of like everything that I come up with, like if I'm going to show a case of VHS, like what's the most interesting way to do that with a photo. So like for the video games, I've been you know, posting the picture of them in action.
Yeah, and
So
which has been really cool. And you've also started creating scenarios for some of them on your personal page, which I appreciate. So.
yeah, and revisiting some Toy Fair magazines. I want to do some like comic strip stuff. So
Oof.
yeah,
This is
but
all stuff that needs to happen.
I know it's a little time.
Yeah, but Brad, I think we've
Let's focus
prattled.
on the here and now.
Yeah, I think we've prattled on long enough. We've delayed this inevitable commentary that is about to commence.
Yeah, so let's get this show on the road, and I'm gonna count down to one, I guess, to tell you
Yep.
when to start your movie so you can follow along. All right,
All right.
and on one,
Yep.
actually on Turtle Power.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, Turtle Power.
Power.
So here we got the old New Line Cinema logo flying in.
Yep.
The new one's not that much different. I mean, you don't see it that much anymore, but they changed the font, I think, and
Well,
brightened up the background.
You also have an edition of the Warner Brothers before.
Yeah, the Warner Media
Yeah.
branding now. So here's a picture of New York City before 9/11.
Yeah. Fun fact: there were 2 towers there.
I like to think because we're also fans of Friday the 13th. So the eighth movie came out in 1989.
Yeah.
And this movie came out in 1990, so I like to think that those two movies are shooting in similar places at the same time.
I would love the idea of the Turtles beating Jason. They'd have to defeat him. It'd be cool.
I mean, you can only postpone Jason. You can't really defeat him.
Well, no, but they're sewer creatures, and as we learn in Jason Takes Manhattan, he becomes a sewer creature.
Yeah, he dissolved in the sewer. So that's right. You can make a sequel off of that movie.
Hashtag it's all connected. Marvel, gave us the perfect hashtag for this. Oh, the wallet is gone.
Yeah. All right. Did you move away from the mic?
Oh no, I'm here.
Okay, there you are.
I may have to do that.
So here we have April introducing the movie, setting up the stage, setting the stage for what is going on in New York at the time. A lot of crime because as you'll find out, the Foot Clan is recruiting boys by boys and girls.
Children. Yes, children.
Yeah, by creating a false environment where they feel empowered, I guess.
Well, we're seeing some of them right now. Looks like Redhead and guy with the band put TVs in there. So the Foot Clan, Brad, they basically how much do they operate in the comics compared to say because from what I was told, the comic book they kill Shredder in the first issue. So
yeah, like I said, when they wrote their first issue, they didn't expect to do more than one, so they killed the villain right away. But he comes back later.
So they do keep the Foot Clan alive within the context of the whole universe. So.
Yeah, without the head of the Foot Clan. I mean, they're a little lost, but yeah, they kind of run on their own for a bit until they I don't want to spoil it, but they reformulate Shredder in a weird way. I think it's issue 10, which actually this movie is an amalgamation of um not just the first issue, but I think the first 10 or 15. So issue 10, like I said,
Yeah,
the whole uh antique store fight is it draws from elements from that issue.
yeah. The documentary was saying that they managed to kind of draw inspiration for what on that in those first couple of issues were cinematically, which it's important because something like especially if you're making like a Golden Hearts movie, like cinema translates differently, so you want to try to be able to translate as best as possible. Hey, it's Justin Hammer.
Yeah, look at that's a young, fresh-faced Sam Rockwell, future Oscar winner. Sam Rockwell.
He had no idea that he would be cast as racist.
Also,
Forward.
I also want to point out, like, you saw April with her like yellow raincoat going on, which I thought was a cool nod to the TV show because her cartoon design isn't much like her comic look.
Yeah.
And actually, in the comics, April didn't start as a reporter. She worked for Baxter Stockman in a science lab, creating the Mousers. So
and Baxter Stockman is, remind me or tell me, because I don't know.
well, in the cartoon, he gets mutated into a fly and becomes like Shredder's henchman for a while, above Bebop and Rocksteady. But yeah, in the comics, he's just a mad scientist who, yeah. And then in the 2016 movie, Tyler Perry plays his character. Yeah. By the way, whatever your connection like really took a dive.
Oh, really? Is it
Yeah.
still? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but you're just like intermittent in and out.
Oh, gotcha. Well, we'll have to do the best we can with this, unless we want to stop it now.
Do you keep moving away from the mic, like turn your head?
No, I'm right. I'm right here. I'm just looking while talking to you. So.
There we go.
We got to go there.
Using the toy line logo, cartoon logo.
Mm-hmm.
The poster didn't have it, so I thought that was interesting at the time. Why they did a different logo. Poor Donatello trying to come up with insults, or not insults, catchphrases. Yeah, what else do you want to know?
Well, so there's something that's interesting about the film, and I think that most people know this, but for those who don't, these suits were they were unsure of their ability to work. They bring in Jim Henson and Brian Henson to help develop them, amongst other Muppeteers like Kevin Clash come on board for this.
Oh, hey, here's something you're gonna like. Look, Sally Menke co-edited this movie.
Who would go on to be Quentin Tarantino's editor. But what's interesting is that the turtles are kind of shot in low light. They're not really presented like the full light that from, say, Secret of the Ooze or Turtles in Time. And there's a aesthetic reason for this, not even just because of the technology they were using. Is that correct?
Yeah, I imagine like all these shadows really help to hide seams in the outfits, and other, like, I guess, cosmetic defects that might be in the puppets.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just in general, it looks, you talk about how like the great thing about Star Wars was it was a world that felt lived in, that had been there for a while, and this definitely looks like a sewer, under the city that's been around for a while. Like 2 and 3, a lot of the production design looks very clean and modern, and like here, just everything just looks really weathered and distressed and authentic.
Yeah. and it has a kind of noir feel, which the early comics that I've seen the reprints of do have. They have that, not just the black and white, but just the tone and the feel of like the gritty, as you said, the gritty city and the gritty character. So they're not. It's not a joke in this first. It's fascinating because humor is an important part of who they are, but you've also got an aesthetic that kind of lends an air of dignity to it that may not otherwise be there under different hands.
Yep. Yeah, the original comics being black and white, like, definitely rely on shadows, so to add depth to the drawings. So
I'm down with Shredder's idea. Let's all meditate on today and the whole months of events that have been going on. Brad. Or we dance to tequila.
I guess the second best use of
Love
tequila
that.
in a movie.
Yes.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure, I'll concede, is probably the best version of it. So NECA action figures have made some like amazing recreations of these character designs, and then they're releasing a Raphael one soon where he has the coat,
The
trench coat. Yeah. God, look at that. That's a set, you guys.
Oh,
That's not actually.
dude, that's ooh.
Yeah. So we got a
The
classic like proverb coming up here that has permeated pop culture. I never noticed there's like a little crushed aluminum soda can sitting on top of that grate before. HD is great, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a deep.
Yeah, you cut out again.
Am I still here?
What's up? There you are. Nope. This is also a backlot.
Hello.
There you are. This is the backlot. This is in New York, actually.
Yeah, it's the old Carol Co. backlot. Before Carol Co. went under. Or actually, no. It had already gone under. No, it didn't, because they put out Terminator 2. Carol Co. lot.
So here's the Domino's guy, which as we mentioned before, Domino's is in the movie, but Pizza Hut actually did a lot of the tie-ins. They did the whole the rock tour thing. You could get the cassette if you bought a pizza or something.
Yeah.
With all like 10 songs on it of the Turtles in concert.
Yeah.
So yeah, the wise man say forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza.
Yep. No, but just the look at that's a wonderful editing sequence of just the cutting of the pizza.
Yep. So I wonder, like,
a little.
Yeah, a nod to. It's a fun joke because they're kind of like,
yep.
The Ninja Turtles themselves are like, where do they come up with this stuff? I was wondering, like, animatronics wise, like trying to do that turtle eating the pizza. I wonder, like, how how gross all that melted cheese in that foam latex probably got after a bunch of takes.
But it's interesting in the documentary, which I mean, it's a shame that the documentary Power one is the only real history on this film. Though they said, like, in certain lights you could see inside the suits, and so Elias and enter Elias Koteas, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, a great depiction of Casey Jones. Fun fact: for theater we had to do scenes, short scenes for, I don't know, some assignment, and I picked this scene with a classmate to perform, and the teacher didn't get it at all. He did not like it when people did movies, as like he wanted us to do plays. So Can't blame him for not
Well,
understanding, but I enjoyed
I
this
mean,
better.
James Avery did say that playing Shredder was almost Shakespearean.
Yeah.
So take that, Brad's teacher.
I also did Predator.
Yeah. That's very Shakespearean, I'll have you know.
Yeah.
Dylan, art thou a son of a bitch?
So do you think kids know who Jose Canseco was, even in 1990?
No. Okay, so this goes back to that whole argument about like, how much is too much of adult references in a kids movie, and I think this movie has a fine amount, like an okay amount. The only thing Nico does is just kind of date the movie, but Jose Canseco, people know who he is. Children know, but we do.
Yeah, I mean Casey's about to make a Humphrey Bogart reference
Yep.
to Raphael, so it's like that once again, like a really old humor. Like cricket, I mean, kids probably don't know what cricket is. I mean, it's more of a British thing, and a crumpet. So is Casey so strong that he can lift Raphael, who probably weighs, I don't know, 250, 300 pounds, the shell on his back?
Okay. Yes. I mean, I.
It's a fun gag, but
Yeah, I think it's well. He has trained. He's trained him. He's self-trained, self-taught. He's a loose cannon, you know.
so this guy in the cab, the passenger, is actually the guy who voices Raphael.
Ah,
And for the longest time, I could not understand what the cabbie was saying until subtitles were a thing. So LaGuardia is an airport.
yes, LaGuardia.
And the joke is that
Mayor LaGuardia.
he's so New York and so unfazed by what's going on that yeah.
Yeah, you listen to your rat father. Fucking love Splinter.
You're waiting in the dark this whole time?
Actually, it makes sense wood because he might be meditating in there, man.
I believe it's Kevin Clash is operating the Splinter puppet, who is famous for the Elmo
Yeah,
puppet on Sesame Street.
yeah, and not really discussed much these days for reasons. But what's interesting is that his stuff apparently had to be shot more often as the backup when the turtle heads were malfunctioning because the Splinter puppet was hardwired and not working off of a bunch of electronic circuits. So normally, would like if the turtle head would go right to his stuff just to cover the day. Give me info on Ralph as a character. Is obviously the one that gravitates and he's
Hey, we got to pause again. You're like
got the most pain.
you're like talking over yourself. All right, sorry about that. We cleared up some technical issues. I can't believe it's 2020 and we're still dealing with video conferencing clarity.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't help that I have limited technology.
But yeah, maybe you should try and get an Ethernet cable downstairs. That's long enough.
Bradley, I can't afford it. So, but yeah, we've got April in here, and
This is April's
Danny?
apartment.
Yeah.
It's a pretty nice apartment, pretty spacious. I guess she does live above an antique store, so
And maybe it's rent controlled. You never know.
yeah.
It's the sad story of most New York movies where people live in impossibly nice apartments.
When I visited New York, I tried to go to 11th and Bleecker, and it did not look like that.
Yeah, no, because sadly, the real Bleecker does not look like Carolco Studios. Ooh. Officer Stearns.
Do you think he is Stern because his last name is Stearns?
Well, that would be putting him into a box, Brad, and not all police officers are stern, as their name would suggest.
So do you think that TV antenna works that well, like under all that concrete?
I mean, possibly. I
Oh,
mean,
there's a lot of TVs now.
oh, uh-oh,
So do you think the
Brad.
Foot Clan started just because the Shredder wanted like more TVs to watch at the same time? Like, why does he have so many TVs?
I don't have split screen option. Jesus. The way they shoot him in the dark is wonderful. Oh no! McLeod.
See, look how like the story just overlaps and has layers. Like while she's dealing with the police chief, Danny's story is also
Happening in that background, yeah.
yeah, some good writing right there. Some good
Yeah.
direction.
That's the thing that this film doesn't get a credit for is the way it is structuring a very decent comic book story in amidst this, different technology that they have not been able to fully perfect yet.
Yeah, and then the in the comic books, often there was like a B storyline with, um, you know, uh, I guess disenfranchised teenagers or whatever. Um, so the whole Danny storyline is kind of a nod to that.
And it's good because it actually ties into what the to how it always felt like to me like it's just like it was like the perfect balance of we're going to tell a turtle movie but we're also going to tie in a relatable character for an audience entry point character with certain respect, which Danny does represent that.
Yeah, he's also, the turtles. Like this whole movie is, they're kind of dealing with the thing with their father. How to be self-sufficient. Because someday he won't be around, and that this plot sort of escalates that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Danny and his father, his father's the rift isn't clear what's there. I'm guessing it's either, obviously their mother isn't around for some reason, or his mother's not around for some reason, and then I don't know, maybe Charles is a workaholic,
Yeah,
as I'm guessing.
it would seem like that. So then as a result he's just kind of he has no direction and no guiding force.
Yeah.
And Ralph coming in to save the day here. Hey, fun fact. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was known to be parodying Daredevil. You think Daredevil parodied Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for its subway scene where Ben Affleck lets a criminal get crushed underneath the train?
Maybe they just recycled. I don't think that was a subway set. I think that was a real, like back in 1990. I imagine you could call the MTA and say, "Hey, can we shut down a line for a couple shots?"
Yeah, now to do that would require the fortune of a billion Jeff Bezoses.
Yeah, it'd just be a
Although
CGI
makes me
subway
wonder
car.
if it makes me wonder during this situation if they're actually shutting down the MTAs like completely. But
Nice shot of Splinter in the mirror back there.
yes,
Kudos to cinematographer.
oof.
Mike's so funny.
Uh-oh. If you woke up and saw a giant rat looking over you, Brad, what would you do?
Oh, cool. That'd be my reaction. I don't know why she's surprised that he's talking because the turtles just talked. So
It's shock. I mean, again, I was just asking, if you saw a rat as you woke up, like, and it was talking to you, what would your reaction be? A little Harrison Ford reference there. We're getting the origin story now.
yeah, which is different from. Well, I guess the cartoon is different from the comics. This is the comics version.
Okay.
So in the TV show, Splinter and Hamato Yoshi are the same person,
Mm-hmm.
but in the original comics here, yeah, Splinter is a rat and he's the pet of Hamato Yoshi. There's a little bit of the canister in the background of that shot there.
Yeah.
No ooze in it, but yeah.
That was us.
There it is. That's
This is a great origin story, like, represented on film right here.
that the canister design there is different from the sequels, but it is the design for our Real Nerds podcast pint glass, which we hope will be at the con this year.
Yeah, it says you'll be able to see it eventually. These baby turtles are my most vivid memory of this movie from when I was a kid.
Yeah, people have even NECA gave them their own little figures as toys.
And they kind of look similar to the original designs for the characters.
Yeah.
Radical. Kids at home, don't put knives in your teeth.
It's a sigh, Zach.
It's a sigh. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Sighs are okay. Knives are not.
I gotta find out what the reference to 9th Street is. Like, is it a stinky place? Normally?
No, I'm not sure. You should have brought in my dad for a cameo appearance to talk about his knowledge of New York.
So here's something else about the world of Ninja Turtles. Manholes are not that large in diameter, I don't think.
No. I mean,
I should probably refer to them as person holes.
Yeah, they can be pretty big, but like I don't think as big enough to let a turtle person through.
Yeah, with the shell and everything.
You know, that's pretty profound. We all eat pizza, Brad. We do.
God, this set looks great. Look at all that texture, and although for a place that's inhabited by other people, it's pretty quiet.
Well, is it late in New York at this point?
I mean, New York never sleeps. There should be other people walking around that neighborhood, like every 5 minutes.
Right, I completely forgot that the city doesn't sleep.
Yeah, it's pretty weird that it's just completely empty. So
a little Rocky reference in here.
Yeah, for all those kids who watched Rocky. Oh, here's a James Cagney reference for all those kids who are familiar with 1920s gangsters.
Yep.
So what we got here? There's a cran apple, a Diet Pepsi, some Parmesan, a regular Pepsi.
Looks like Pellegrino. Also, fun fact: Jimmy Cagney never said "you dirty rat." Fun fact.
Oh, Mikey screwing up the quote.
That is inspired by imitations of James Cagney, and that just kind of got taken a little bit too far. And Cagney himself addressed it in an AFI tribute.
So just a painting of a Doberman in the background.
Yeah.
Wonder what artist that is.
Judith Hoag, by the way, very good April O'Neil. You know, very solid, very likable.
Yeah, I mean, nothing against. Oh God, a blanket on who replaced her in the other two movies.
Paige Tuco, or
yeah, Paige Turco.
Yeah.
Who was fine, but yeah, I'm not sure why they felt the need to replace her.
Maybe it's contract or money or whatever. Oh no.
So now the Turtles storyline is really kicking into gear. That they're presented with a problem. Now they don't know what to do. That much trash is completely accurate. As we saw when we visited Henry.
Yeah.
Monday nights, man. Restaurants just because there's no like back alley trash collection. It's all right out in the street there.
Yeah.
Too dense. It's a great like rotating camera move.
Yeah. Again, like this film is able to go to visually dynamic places.
Yeah. Like what a great way to make just a guy singing a Destiny look cool and tell the story. Got a nice wide shot of Central Park. I'm guessing at sunrise. Yep. So this is weird. Do you think your boss would ever just come over and check on you, like on the way to work?
No. That's not how retail works in America, Brad.
I guess that's how journalism works. I don't know.
Yeah. And they may be a little bit more tight knit. My boss could care less about where I am at any given point of the day. Well, actually, I have a new job right now, so I don't know if that's true. But yeah, I mean, you could care less about where I am at any given point of the day. So
couldn't with an N apostrophe T, Zach. Oh, Mikey's busted.
Yep.
Well, he just follows her into her bathroom, which is a really big bathroom too.
Yep. Interesting shower curtain.
Yeah, it's a mustache dude in a raincoat.
And ducks. I feel April's pain because I don't want anybody to see my bathroom either.
I mean, this is probably actually a soundstage.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks realistic as hell. Like I believe this is a apartment in New York, even though it's insanely big. But it doesn't look like a soundstage to me. I was going to point that out earlier. Is I watched the animatronics of the Turtles, and I never ever feel like people always like to joke that it's like people in suits, but there's something about it where I don't look at it and I don't see that.
Well, it's a combination of animatronic puppetry and the stunt work by the team that they assembled via their knowledge at Golden Harvest. So, like, the effect works because you're combining a lot of different elements. And I noticed in this first film, unlike in the later two sequels, because a lot of the fight scenes are in the darkness, you're not necessarily seeing the difference, and the imagination works better for this than it does in the other two, where they're so high, like it's high key lighting.
Yeah.
And you can see that the clearly the mouths aren't moving when they're doing the fighting and stuff. This one, little narc video game, say no to drugs, kids.
Yeah, I still have that game. It's awesome. Yeah, so we've got the Shredder's lair, the compound for all the kids hang out and do whatever they want. Even though they're villains, this is actually a pretty sweet place. Like, can you imagine having like a place like this in Denver to hang out at? I'd join the Foot too.
I mean, this should have been the design for the Boys and Girls Club of America. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, and I don't know, Brad. Like, if there's an indoor skate park and unregulated pool, like, I don't know, maybe I should turn to a life of crime.
Just stacks of soda, basketball hoops.
Oh yeah, no
Katsu.
alcohol. Yeah, that's what I appreciate. The Foot Clan doesn't try to get their members drunk.
Yeah, it's not like they're handing out drugs to these kids, and like they're handing out fun.
Yeah, there's Archie Comics there even.
Hey, maybe if you want to like also do some martial arts and become a ninja thief, you could do that too. It's interesting they did that little shot of the Archie comics. Like Archie did kind of do a comic book more in line with the cartoon show,
Yeah.
but I'm surprised it wasn't actually a Mirage Studios box to fully.
I wonder, like, so do you know how much input Mirage and Kevin and Peter had in the making of it?
It sounds like they did have quite a bit. Yeah, I'm sure they weren't on set like dictating like, no, do this, because they had zero experience in the industry prior to this. So, but it sounds like Steve Barron and Kevin and Peter did kind of like go back and forth like on a few details. Like I guess Steve Barron was really dedicated to emulating the original comics as much as possible. And at the time, again, it wasn't like the Turtles were a phenomenon. Like the cartoon show was big, but like once this movie came out, like it really, like it, at one point this was the highest grossing indie movie of all time. This wasn't originally released under the like Warner Brothers, I guess, or Paramount.
No, so this was so New Line, at the time that it released, New Line was a studio that was not owned by Warner Brothers. It was an independent distribution studio that.
Sorry, hang on a second. Let's take a moment to like look at how cool the Shredder is.
Oh,
what a great introduction this is.
And it's just so dramatic, and it's got an edge to it that, like, and it's not that I'm wanting to exemplify the world of edgelords, but this gives it a real menace for this situation. It adds stakes to the movie if you present him as a true threat.
Like every day, Tatsu has to come out and roll back his cape, and then those two guys have to roll out a carpet.
I would actually that would be a good role for me, Brad. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do in my life. Maybe I should be a carpet roller for
you make a great carpet lackey. You should do that for each of the podcast episodes, like roll out a carpet for Ryan.
Is it a red carpet or is it a different color carpet to like more cater to his style?
Red's our color, yeah.
Okay,
our
cool.
accent
All right,
color.
I'm gonna get a red carpet, and then when we're done with Stay at Home, I will roll out the carpet for Ryan, and then roll it back for you.
A while back, Kevin Eastman put on sale on his website the Foot Clan bandanas, so I picked one up. So
yeah,
I'll post that on my Instagram at some point.
Do it. But yeah, I will say, so New Line, though, it was a studio that primarily its biggest hit at this point would have been the Nightmare on Elm Street series, and it was distributing mainly horror films. And around this era, they started getting into, trying to expand beyond the horror genre that they had been known for. And even prior to this, they had done stuff for John Waters. So this is like this takes them into an even bigger stratosphere when they release it. And actually, the producer of this film, he was getting calls to say, well, can we have the rights to the sequels? And they said, well, no, it's going to stay with the people who believed in it, which is New Line Cinema. So when New Line Cinema got acquired by Warner Brothers, that's how Warner Brothers gets a stake in the franchise. And then eventually the entire sale to Paramount just kind of happens as a form of acquisition. Oh, Mikey. No, Mikey. That's mean. Some similar cinematography to what we would see in the news segments for Batman '89, too.
Yeah. It's a kind of a pre-sensationalism journalism days.
Yeah. And it's interesting how, I don't know how much influence it could have had on it, but this and Batman '89 have not the same tone, obviously, because Burton's a different director, but the visual aesthetics of it, they fall in tandem with each other.
Yeah, again, the news in that time was way less, I guess, higher end,
Yeah.
all you had to do was sit in front of a desk and there's that great joke in Anchorman or Anchorman 2, I think, where they start just filling up the screen with all the graphics, like tickers and stock things. And back then here, it's just like two people in front of a desk. And that's it. Like maybe there's an image in the corner.
Yeah, pretty simple, pretty standard. So would they have they hit out in April's apartment in the past?
Like I said, the issue 10, I forget. I think it is that they're hiding for the Foot Clan. But yeah, they're hanging out at April's apartment for that storyline. It's not like a ongoing thing. It was for this part of the run.
But it still manages to keep them in a little bit of a low light, so that they still have there's still a mystery to them.
Yeah.
Even as they eat pork rinds. Oh, damn! Out of the turtles.
Oh yeah, they swear a bunch in this movie. Can you imagine being the stunt person and having to stand on that rooftop with no guardrail and in that costume try to do those flips? Like,
that's genuine fear, Brad. That's genuine fear that I do not want to experience. Because they couldn't always see out of them, and apparently those masks were very suffocating, is what the documentary was saying.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a beautiful back shot there. Oof.
I'm surprised the Foot Clan's able to get a jump on Raphael, but I guess he is consumed in his thoughts right now. The movie started with them, running around in the dark pretty stealthily. So you think Raph would be more attuned to someone sneaking up on him.
And again, because there's an emotional bent to everything. Like he's allowed to have that distracted moment because we've come to like him as a character.
Yeah, I was assuming he's preoccupied. He's not focusing on his ninja training. I like Mikey's just like, yeah. Goes right back into watching the show.
Well,
he just got those size back. Oh, did you see Raph's belt came apart in that shot? Never saw that before.
By the way, talk a little bit about the belts on the turtles, because initially the comics, they didn't have anything to really distinguish themselves other than their weapons.
Yeah, in the original comics, they pretty much they all look the same except for what weapons they're holding. So in the cartoon, they changed up the mask colors, which is a good idea just in general. But they did reinforce it with the letters of their first names on their belts. So, just to make it easier for kids to distinguish between them. If you couldn't figure out the color, at least you had the belt to fall back on.
Yeah. I like that line, by the way, just now. Like, how do you guys expect to beat me?
Just by overpowering him with numbers.
Yep. Ralph's arrogance never ceases to amaze me. I love
it. Are you saying Ralph? Like Ralph Garman?
Raph, sorry.
It's been a couple times. I'm like, that was a mistake one time, and then three times later, I'm like,
it's me being an
Ralph?
Idiot. It's me again. This is why you're the expert and I am not. Mikey.
This is a great little edited sequence. How all the sound notes are playing off each other.
Yep, the match cut, beautiful.
So I always thought he says he'll probably drop in any minute now, but hey, he didn't. That'd been funny. And now you get to destroy it. That's clearly a printed backdrop outside the window there.
Yeah.
You'll see that again by the end of the movie.
Which, by the way, we're only able to really truly notice it now with the glory of HD. But I'm sure back in the 90s, you could not even tell.
Oh yeah.
It's again the testament to matte paintings and their power to work their magic on the audience. A fellow chucker, eh?
I think we're it's subtle, but I think we're dealing with a different Michelangelo suit because the head looks slightly different.
How are we doing on time, by the way?
I don't know. It's not showing me a countdown thing, so I'm just watching the system clock.
Cool.
I mean, we've already broken the show up into 2 places, so if it ends, it ends.
Oh, Mikey, that jokester.
That dude's head is just crushed. There's just this... When did that foot soldier get passed out and thrown on on the dresser back there? Like they just started the fight.
Well, the Foot Clan's not necessarily known for their immediate preparation.
That line, don't knock them all out. I couldn't. It was unintelligible for years until subtitles. Like that really perplexed me for a long time. Like, what's he saying?
Wheel of Fortune, for those who don't know, is a television show of the game variety.
You know, a reference to Wheel of Fortune for all those kids who watch Wheel of Fortune and Vanna White.
Probably were forced to watch it by their parents before anything cool came on.
Look, they've even like updated the suits to include bruises. Like you can see discolorations where the turtles have been punched.
Yep.
Really
and
good
also
attention to detail.
And natural turtle features like little turtle spots and stuff like that, you know? Here you get a little bit of the stuff that Golden Harvest was really good at, which is just always upping the scale with as many different combatants as possible.
Symbolically, you know, the fight started out on the top floor, and it's increasingly going lower and lower into the depths.
Yep.
Of the story. So narratively,
it's not unlike the way the narrative progresses in something like 36 Chambers of Shaolin, where you just keep progressing moment by moment. In this case, we're going down.
Yeah,
you know?
the turtles are they're going to be at their lowest point at the end of the scene.
Yep. A little piano gag there. And another symbol joke. I love it.
Look at all those cool typewriters.
I'm actually jealous of how many cool antiques are in this shop.
Yeah, like I actually want to go here.
Yeah. Months prior to this commentary, I worked at a thrift store. In no way did we have anything as cool as the amount of stuff they have in here. Uh-oh. Could it be Elias Koteas? It is.
So in the comics, this scene, Casey Jones introduces his famous. Look at Tatsu just standing back there, like not doing anything. Like this would be a perfect time to take down the tree. Anyway, but he says his famous catchphrase "Gungala," but they don't use it in this movie, which I thought was interesting.
Did they ever use it in the movies? I can't recall.
I don't. I'm pretty sure he never says it. Yeah. But
Brad,
it's a weird catchphrase, so I guess I can understand that. That is a big kid.
Brad, if you ever get to reboot the Ninja Turtles, you just got to promise me that you'll let him say Goongala.
I think he did it once in the 2003 show because they were pretty good about Easter eggs like that.
Damn, now imagine being in those suits with that much fire and that much heat going on.
Yeah, you're sweating your balls off.
Oh, dude. How much weight could you lose? Brad, I should be in a turtle movie so I could lose some more weight.
There you go.
Yeah. All this exercise was fucking bullshit. I could have just been in a Ninja Turtle movie.
Yeah.
So, does Casey in the comics, how long does it take for him to kind of switch over to the good side for the Turtles? Is it just like in that? It's like you were saying in that 10th issue.
I he actually there's like a one-off called just all Raphael, where a lot of the scene in the park where they meet him and Raphael, that's where that comes from. But I don't think he was ever not on their side.
Because he was always kind of presented as just like an additional vigilante amidst the Turtles themselves.
Yeah, like he starts out like he's watching the news at home and just getting increasingly frustrated with all the bad stuff going on in the world. So he decides to take it upon himself to become the vigilante on his own. And yeah, like that whole process just kind of lines up with what Raphael's up to.
Yeah, this scene is brutal. Shredder getting at Splinter there, like for children, like because kids would be the main target for this movie.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
I actually argue like they're probably making it for teens because the teens were in the comics, but
true.
It came out like the cartoon had blown up by then, so people just probably assumed that it was geared toward kids. But I generally think this was made for the comics fans first, and it just coincided with the rise of the show.
Yeah. And then once you get to the sequel that they released, obviously the phenomenon had grown so much that in Peter Layard's words, they said that he felt they took a step backward with Secret of Ooze. But
yeah, like they really started to rely on the show as their template. So, which is why the character designs, like their eyes and everything, look more cartoonish,
more expressive. Yeah,
yeah, easier to connect with. Whereas I find them hard to connect with because here I feel like they are realistic.
Yep.
Like there's actually life behind them.
At least Shredder put a box underneath Splinter's feet.
Yeah.
Because it seems like he's nasty enough that he would have just let him hang like that.
As we'll find out by the end of the movie, Danny's angst just stems from the fact that he has to call himself Danny and not Dan. That's what his whole storyline amounts to.
Yeah. But Brad, just if we've learned anything, it's that the cool animatronics are the real stars of this movie, and Elias Koteas and Judith Hogue.
So on Google Maps, I saw an update of this house in the countryside, and a lot of this vegetation is gone.
Really?
Yeah.
Deforestation or just natural decay?
Whoever owned it decided to just raise it and spruce it up as like a more controlled environment. So yeah.
So not only do we need to fix environmental laws for the sake of our futures as human beings, but otherwise you ruin the aesthetics of a perfectly good 1990 movie. Gosh, wake up, world. The house, the exterior of the house kind of reminds me of the Myers house in Halloween.
Yeah.
It's a similar style at the outside. Obviously, inside a little bit way different, but
this whole farmhouse thing is a reference to the Return to New York storyline, which I think is issues 21 through 23. So
that is actually that brings up a question. Like, but by the point that they're making the movie, how many issues have Eastman and Laird brought out?
How many issues were in the Eastman and Laird run? Are you asking?
At that time up till the movie.
Oh, by 1990?
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't know. By the end of the run, it was 70.
Okay.
I think it was 70, 72, maybe 73. So
they had plenty to work off of.
Yeah, like I said, even though this movie came out by 1990, so there have been six years of issues, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
and they weren't like DC and Marvel where they came out consistently like every month. There was doubling up in highs and lows. So I think by like 94, 95, they had 70 or 72. So 1990, probably maybe 20 or 30.
Okay. So they had plenty of storylines to work off of for this.
Yeah.
And and also because the success was so unexpected from that first issue that, like, of course there's like a bit of a catch up they have to do within a certain respect to keep keep up with the demand, because that first printing sold out.
Yeah, many times.
Yeah.
So I did not understand that they were playing a game with the insults there for the longest time. I thought they're just saying random stuff, but the game is alphabetically they are coming up with insults. So that's why it's gack face and then hose brain. It's because G&H. Yeah, I did not get that until I was a teenager and someone pointed it out to me.
Oh, Mikey.
Every time I watch this in a communal setting, people laugh at this scene, and I don't get it.
It's sad, man.
Yeah, that's why I don't get it. Like, apparently this is funny.
The image of Mikey in the bathtub the way he is strange.
Well, it's Raphael in the bathtub, but yeah.
It's Raphael. No, I thought it was Mikey. Oh, maybe the color on my screen.
Well, Raphael's the one who got beat up, so I don't know why.
No, that's true. No, it looked like the orange. It looked like the orange headband. So, just to mind again. Maybe I caught color blindness from James. I'm not sure.
I guess we're also going to gloss over. I guess April's a really good artist.
Is she in the comics?
No,
the cartoon?
Not that I was aware of.
Again, movies can make their changes.
Yeah, I think they're more of whoever, I don't know, did storyboards or costume design. The director probably just, hey, throw these under her, and now she's an artist herself.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that, April drawing a line in the sand for female empowerment long before the Me Too movement. Good for her.
And look at Elias Koteas representing the male population as it's always been. In sweatpants.
Good job, fatty. I think I heard somewhere that was actually an accident. Like, that wasn't planned.
Well, that's a good.
Break.
If that's the case, that's a really good, catch of that footage.
Yeah.
Oh, it is right. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I thought it was Mikey in the bathtub.
Like, why would Leonardo be concerned that Mikey's passed out in the bathtub? Like,
that's why I was confused. It has been a while since I've watched this first one. And you have the leader of the group consoling the loose cannon of the group.
Yeah.
And Leonardo established as the leader, I find it interesting how, it's, usually kind of consider the leader character like, the straight-laced, the boring, the Superman of them all. But I think Leonardo's got a fine personality of just dignity to him. I like him.
Yeah. Well, he's also, he's the leader, but he's still learning. Like, he is a teenager. People also laugh at this part where he's yelling it on top of the barn, which I don't get either.
I think that level of it goes back to what you were saying about people who comment that, oh, the animatronics look terrible, those guys in suits and whatnot, and they're just not. If you can't dig into the world that you're in, or at least meet it on its terms, then all art's going to look ridiculous to you. So the people that you're referring to are jerks. again, like just the imagery, obviously, like it's not on surface level bad, but just like if you're looking at this imagery of like Shredder and his henchmen, like this smuggling going on in his warehouse, like geez, just like a bunch of solid imagery there to create that menace. And actually, the visually out here with this fight montage, this training montage is very much like in the vein of a kung fu or a martial arts film back in the era that Golden Harvest would have produced, whether it was Jackie Chan or any of their other stable of stars. It's nice how they kind of capture the visual aesthetic for that purpose.
Mm.
So in a sense, this movie is not only, saluting the source material, but also the things that inspired the source material. So April and Casey, will they or won't they?
Is that a question for me, or?
Yeah. No, I'm actually from the context of the history of the Turtles. Are they a will they, won't they? Sam and Diane situation?
Yeah, they will, and they will have a kid named Shadow.
Wait a minute. That's mentioned in the TMNT movie, isn't it?
The cartoon one?
Yeah.
Or CGI one?
Yeah, his Shadow, like something's referenced that they're together, I think.
Yeah, I mean they are at least dating in the CGI movie as far as I can remember.
Okay. I didn't know about the Shadow child. Oh, the child named Shadow. But...
Yeah, that's really late in the original comics run, like around issue 70-ish, I think.
Hmm. Okay, telekinetic?
Yeah.
Telepathy?
Ninja is operating on a higher level beyond the physical realm.
But
in the Turtles.
And that also, I guess, falls in line with them able to adding in sci-fi and other types of elements that are beyond just the normal realm.
Yeah, like compared to what goes on later in the comics with like Dimension X and Triceratons and outer space, and Utroms, like this is pretty telepathy.
Yeah, I said the wrong term.
Yeah, telepathy is more believable, I think.
I remember, this is one thing I remember from as a kid. I was jealous that I could never stick a bunch of marshmallows on a bunch of different extending branches, but these turtles were allowed to. So I always felt like I was gypped out of a great childhood as a result.
This is another scene where I'm confused by the audience reaction. People interpret this as like Splinter's actually manifesting out of the fire in front of them. Whereas I always read it as this is just an abstract, like what's in the fire is what they're actually seeing inside their heads.
That would make more sense.
Yeah, like he's not actually coming out of the fire, like in the forest. Like it's visually more interesting rather than just like cutting away to some black space and having some faded looking Splinter like talking to the camera. I think this framing is much more visually interesting. So
yeah, and it's also better than just having like a bunch of close-ups on their heads on a tracking shot going around. Like this one, you're creating two different scenes within a single scene as a result. As you notice, they're all keeping their eyes closed, so clearly this is the voice in their heads.
Yeah,
that meditation.
But apparently, it's not clearly because when I go to Midnights and I've watched this, like people kind of laugh and like comment like that they think he's actually coming out of the fire. It's bizarre.
Well, Brad, those same people probably also don't understand the badassery of Yoda as a Force ghost in Last Jedi. So again, these guys are losers by comparison.
Yeah, that must be it. Is because of Star Wars, they think in Ghost that he's actually there.
I'm pretty sure that imagery that Lucas presented with the Force Ghost has definitely taken on some baggage for any other film that tries to do it going forward.
Yeah, corrupted a lot of minds.
Yes, exactly. As we found out these past 5 years.
It's a sweet little scene of getting some of Casey's backstory, how he used to actually play professional hockey.
Yeah.
And had to quit due to an injury. Oh shit! Here we go. Again, we're seeing a New York that has no people in it.
It's raining,
Yeah.
To use the adage, it's raining cats and dogs out there, so of course they're going to be inside.
Like, I get that it's grimy and dirty, but I really miss this look of New York. Like,
yeah, New York had a character to it, and then Giuliani cleaned it up, obviously, in the '90s and swept up a lot of stuff. I mean, we'd have to ask Henry, but I'd imagine that not all of it looks as pristine as, what's presented on the surface level in Times Square.
it does. Like, I've been there 2 or 3 times, and it's really clean. Like,
okay.
It looks very. Again, I haven't been everywhere, but it definitely doesn't. A lot of it does not look like this.
Right. No, this is still. In this point, New York has still has the characteristics of what you would see established in things like Taxi Driver, where the city itself has kind of fallen into a decay, and also this film, with a lot of other films about New York prior to Giuliani cleaning it up, are a representation of this. There's still a fear in that city, and there's a high crime rate, and all those things that sociopolitically kind of tie into that situation. Which is why, again, like, you can take a concept like this and apply serious stakes to it, even if it's got, as we're discussing, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. So this scene where Donnie's about to mess around with Casey, up until recently, I didn't really think about it, but is it a little bit of a homophobic joke?
Ooh.
Like, I always thought like Casey was just getting upset because he's just being picked on. I wonder if it's because Casey's misinterpreting claustrophobic as homophobic, because he says, you've never even looked at another guy before.
It might, well, so then I guess it kind of goes into that discussion of, when we talk about, jokes about homophobia and, homosexuality in the 80s and 90s specifically. I didn't see it that way when I watched this, because like the times that I watched this, obviously as a kid, and then there's like 1 or 2 times like where I watched it, I think prior to going to that the TMNT one in 2007. So I don't think I saw it that way necessarily, but I might be misreading. I mean, it could
I hope
easily
not.
I mean, like it certainly wouldn't be uncharacteristic of a film of this era. But I would imagine that it's probably not, because it's also, we were saying this is aimed towards teens, but it's also, they're fully aware that children like these characters.
Yeah. Real quick, before it goes away, this pizza funeral.
Oh, pizza funeral, man. Oh.
I always couldn't tell if they were like, if they were doing it because they couldn't eat it because it had expired, or because they were still going to eat it anyway because it was expired. So they're being like, they're saluting it because they're about to actually eat it. And they cut away before they do, or if it was that they were not going to eat it because it had. I wasn't sure how to take that scene.
They're cutting away before they do anything with it, like throwing it away. So they could be getting ready to get down on the floor and eat it before they vomit.
Yeah,
that pizza does look disgusting from that box.
Yeah, most likely they're saluting it because they can't eat it because it has expired. But there was always part of me, it was like, well, maybe they're saluting it because it's about to go into their stomachs.
Yeah, because they are above their low point, but they are still in distressing.
It's pizza.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not going to let pizza go to waste.
Yeah, exactly. It's not to say that the turtles are stress eaters, mind you, but pizza is a very addictive food.
Come on, guys. Someone cover up that manhole. Someone could fall in.
Brad, I don't know what you're talking about. Manholes have no possibility of ever affecting.
I need to figure out what bridge. I think this is Roosevelt Island, actually.
Oh,
what?
Terminal Island?
Roosevelt. location, because it's obviously not a soundstage because it has the New York skyline and bridge behind it. But I think like this warehouse, well, this inside might be a soundstage, but the outside that we just saw is actually a warehouse that has since been torn down. But I'm trying to remember the name of the island. It's not like, in the city. It's outside the city on one of the like little islands. Like the Statue of Liberty has.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. Like, no, there are different offshoot, like little islands and whatnot.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. You were supposed to help me, you little fucker.
Yeah, I've just been hanging out with your sons.
Totally forgot about you, old man.
Do you want me to tell them you're here?
Also, are you like hungry and stuff? Oh, this is another one. Yeah. So this flashback here, it's one of the reasons why I love Splinter is like, this is a rat who trained, even though he was just a rat, he trained under a great martial artist, man.
Yeah. Like people often laugh at that too, about that animatronic rat doing martial arts, but rats are really intelligent creatures.
Oh yeah.
Like they know how to learn.
And just look at the imagery here. Obviously, footage is a little decayed within this context, but like just the power of this kind of, I wouldn't call it Kurosawa imagery necessarily, but it's just powerful enough to give this backstory some grounded reality. It has a different type of aesthetic to it than the rest of the narration. It gives a sense of style, which I really appreciate.
Yeah. Speaking of style, I forgot to mention earlier, because I've mentioned Steve Barron a bunch of times. Steve Barron is also famous for directing some Michael Jackson music videos.
Yes.
I think the Billie Jean one with the light up sidewalk, which again has a very similar aesthetic to this movie.
See, I don't know how you laugh at that puppet. It looks tragic. It looks lovely.
Yeah. I can hear you vaping.
Oh, sorry. Nicotine vape, guys. I'm sorry. This is when Danny realizes that he's been a pawn this whole time.
So look how quick change Casey is with this costume switch. He should be a ninja himself.
Yeah. Well, but again, this is a classic gag where you just you say, hey, you over here, and then you quickly change into their attire. Like this is classic film 101 right here.
This would be terrifying, like having the Shredder see his symbol in the dirt.
Yeah.
Like if this was the comics, Danny would probably be dead. Like the Shredder just would have killed him right there.
It's very similar to how you react whenever I mistreat one of the shirts you designed for Comic-Con. You stare me down in a very disturbing mask. And you use your hand claws to threaten me with almost certain death.
I made this costume. I'll just wear it the next time I see you, so I can stare you down in it.
God. I'm afraid now.
Wow, Danny, this is really good.
My God.
Did you draw this?
We should harvest your talents for our own evil purposes. You make our campaign poster, Shredder 2020.
Can you draw me?
Draw me like one of your turtle girls.
Do you think anyone heard that?
No, Shredder. I didn't see you playing with your drawings again. Very interesting design for the Foot Clan soldiers with those kind of bug fly eyes and whatnot.
Yeah, that's how they pretty much how they were in the comics. Obviously, they had to make them into robots for the cartoon because they're going to kill a bunch of them.
Yeah,
you can kill a robot, you can't kill a person.
Yeah. Well, they've got those toe shoes going there.
It's a typical martial arts footwear.
Wow.
Not sure why this toe is separated like that, but I'm sure there's a good reason.
It's not that I didn't know that. It's just more like this is the first time I'm noticing it on them with this print.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So this upcoming shot of Raphael eating the apple was also a bit confusing for me because I couldn't tell if he was saying like he wanted more apples or he wanted more foot soldiers to fight. But then I guess he does say like, "Oh, good."
I think there's more of them, the soldiers, because then they show up right on time.
Yeah, because he didn't get to do any fighting because he was eating that apple.
Yeah. It's usually why I can't help you defeat enemies is because I'm usually eating apples in the corner. Good question.
There's Splinter doing his best Alex Murphy RoboCop impression.
Yeah.
Who are you?
So I'm wondering if this particular version of the puppet is just a little bit more life size, I guess they're lifting him up and he was on a box. Never mind.
I'm guessing that shot is just a Splinter torso. There's probably no legs for it.
Pretty interesting, just like the scale of those. Not just obviously the turtles have scale because they're in suits, but that puppet is to scale smaller than the rest of them. You see right there, they're not treating April.
Look at Sam Rockwell trying to get his face on camera. He just steps into the shot just enough.
Props to Sam Rockwell for all of his success. But why haven't we given Elias Koteas an Oscar yet?
Yeah, he nails his character so well. It's amazing.
And that's not even like a joking or a mocking thing. Like, it's just like he's really good at what he does, and this is a clear example of it. This, and even I'd argue he's fine in 3.
Yeah. He doesn't get much to do, but yeah.
Yeah. And remind me, because it's been a while since I watched Secret of the Use, Casey Jones is replaced or just not in the second
He's just not in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a strange omission.
Well, because rightfully so. More Sam Rockwell.
Again, like Casey must be superhumanly strong because he can just hit people with sticks and they just fly across the room.
I think much like John Goodman in nearly every Coen Brothers movie he's in, he's just given superpowers. Much like John Goodman in those movies, he's able to just lift people unnaturally with ease.
Look how hard this... this is how amazing this is. The guy in a stunt suit that he can't see out of has to skate on the skateboard down this track with junk and obstacle in the way.
How many injuries do you think were on this set? Realistically.
Just one. That's how good they were.
And he puts you in a movie called Moon.
So there's Sam Rockwell doing his first Vin Diesel impression.
We're family. And Elias Koteas is just trying to make sure that he heard the greatest catchphrase in history.
Also, poor Tatsu. I kind of wish he never really gets to show off himself as a martial artist. Like in this movie, he gets knocked out with a golf club right away. And then in 2, he just gets smashed with turtle shells.
Right.
I guess his voice is being dubbed because the actor's English is not so great. So
I believe Jackie Chan had that happen to him more than once in the early years of his career.
Yeah, but I guess this guy who plays Tatsu, he doesn't even understand what he's saying, like what the meaning is behind anything he's saying. So.
Oh. Hey! Before Thor and Captain America had their little back and forth banter, it was Donatello and Mikey, guys.
Yeah, these are the original Avengers guys.
Yes, exactly.
Don't kidnap rats. Or else they'll be avenged.
Yeah, because if we can't protect the rat, you can be damn sure we'll avenge it. Robert Downey Jr. is Raphael.
Here we go. Head back up narratively, rising again.
Yep. And that catchphrase we just heard, I love being a turtle.
Again, major street brawl going on. No one's poking their head out the window.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of one of the most populous cities in the world. Anyway.
Randy, what is that outside? Don't be alarmed, Maxine. It's just a bunch of turtles fighting a bunch of samurai, ninja, clan thingies, whatever. Now go to bed.
That kick when Raphael rolls and then jumps up and kicks in 5.1 sounds amazing.
Oh. No more? A little Mark Wahlbergian there.
Awesome
now
introduction for the final fight.
So here's where some of my knowledge might come in. This final sequence on the rooftop is very heavily influenced by the comics. Am I correct in assuming that?
Yeah, in the first issue, it all comes down to this.
Yeah.
It ends differently, but
oh yeah,
this is definitely a nod to that issue.
That's usually what I tell my credit cards when I put them in when they've been expired. You're about to face the shredder. And then I just toss it in there. So this aesthetically kind of calls back a little bit to some martial arts films where like you'd have one person go one at a time and go off against the big baddie and they'd all get knocked down.
Yeah. Although at some point, they are kind of tag teaming the Shredder briefly.
Oh, look, Brad, it's the outside of New York, and there's a lot of people now.
Yeah, probably. So this is weird. The Shredder's just hanging out back there, waiting for them to... Look at he's just kind of pacing.
He's a patient...
I'll wait for them.
Warrior. Yeah, exactly.
Right. This camera moves sweet right here. This whip around.
Mm-hmm.
So badass.
Yeah, that is well timed.
Cool. Yeah. So this is where they start to gang up on the Shredder, kind of doing a little bit more than one at a time. But it's a pretty awesome fight, actually. God, that stunt guy having to jump across over the Shredder and then land and then kick back. Oh, so good.
Just your back's gotta hurt after doing taking a hit to the back like that with a shell up against it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Cliff Booth was one of the stuntmen.
So many cars in movies just leave the keys in the ignition.
Yeah,
I've never left my keys in my ignition ever. Now,
is that the same garbage truck that Kevin Eastman walked outside of for his cameo?
Yeah. He was supposed to. We were supposed to see it on screen. Oh, this sound effect suite right there. Actually, I think I'm a little bit ahead of you on the movie, but where Leo slices his arm in 5.1 sounds awesome again.
Oof.
Anyway,
I'm hearing it on Bluetooth headphones. So,
so apparently Kevin Eastman, he had a cameo in one of the recent movies, but he did have a cameo in this one as the garbage man with that truck that got cut out. So,
so he could have been Stan Lee before Stan Lee.
Yeah,
but Stan Lee put a stop to that inadvertently. Oh no, you don't, Mr. Eastman.
Mikey about to save the day here inadvertently.
Yeah. Because even a goofball could be the hero.
Look at the expression in their eyes in the scene. The animatronics are just so amazing.
Yeah, how can you laugh at that? Splinter.
It's all connected.
Hashtag it's all connected. Watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., guys. He's gonna take off that mask. Ooh.
Look what like one facial disfiguration did to one man, like all the chaos it caused.
Now I understand Joaquin Phoenix's Joker performance way more. Because he was scarred on the inside, Brad. Oof. Look at that. Look at him.
The NECA figure actually comes with this little knife. So here's a pretty sweet non-CGI stunt person fall.
I love how Splinter gets to do that.
Yeah. And here's Casey Jones straight up murdering the Shredder.
Well, Casey Jones, much like the Dark Knight, won't kill him, but he doesn't have to save him from accidentally pulling a lever.
Actually, I don't think Casey is the kind of person who's that affected, but like he's kind of okay with murder.
Yeah, no, because he is a vigilante at heart.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Batman's a vigilante, but he's like he does have that like no killing policy. But yeah, Casey doesn't have that. Like people die, they die.
We just saw the image, but that family shot of them all together as a family. It reminds you again that there is a heart to this, even amidst the dark angles of it. Even the two sillier films, they all have a heart to them. Like this is about a family.
So the news van, the 4-letter is WTRL. I always wonder if that was like because it kind of sounds like Wordle. If they meant to make it sound like turtle.
That would be a question for the commentary that we'll have to find from the UK.
Yeah.
Because right now we're the only American commentary for this for this particular movie.
So yeah, we're pretty much at the end of it. Zach, is there any other questions that you have that you didn't get to before this thing wraps up?
So I guess to wrap it up, one of the things that amazed me when we've been getting back into these turtles here, these teenage mutants, if you will, was that you are absolutely correct when you talked about it a couple of weeks ago in our isolated episode where, this film has much more depth than you remember and has a lot more poignancy than you'd imagine. So I would guess, like, if you had anything to say to a person who's getting into the Turtles, even just watching this for the first time, like, what would you recommend they go to next? Would you go to Secret of the Ooze and just kind of embrace the madness, or do you kind of try to go right to the comics?
I would recommend going and checking out the original run of comics. I mean, as far as things that have depth, or just like if you want to know more about.
Oh, I guess even if you're a kid, let's say I'm showing this to my nephew and he's like, "Oh, I want more turtles." It's like, "Oh shoot, well, what do I show him? Do I show him the cartoon?" Like, actually, I think the cartoon might be a great option too.
I mean, yeah, age has a lot to do with it. Like, I wouldn't give him the original comics until you're like until you're a teenager.
Wait, we should point out here, Officer Stearns is giving a talk to Sam Rockwell. He's telling Sam Rockwell,
it's like, oh, look.
Yeah.
So, look at that acting.
Yeah.
I can't compete with that. This guy's going to win an Oscar.
One day that kid's going to dance on stage after he's convinced Mickey Rourke to build a robot army. And I'm going to watch, and I'm going to say I knew it. From moment one, I knew it.
One day this guy's going to play a racist who's so conflicted he's going to win an Academy Award.
One day he's going to play George W. Bush and inexplicably get a second Oscar nomination. He's good in that movie.
One day he's going to reenact all the fantasy elements of a child writer's sci-fi novel effeminately.
One day he's going to be in Galaxy Quest. I'm saying that because I really love Galaxy Quest, so there's no reason to belittle that achievement.
But anyway, back to your question. Yeah, probably just the 80s cartoon is probably the next, for your nephew's age, probably the 80s cartoon is the next place to go. Or maybe Rise of the TMNT seems like it's pretty...
Yeah.
it's modern and also has that level of humor. And here's where Splinter invents Cowabunga. That's exactly. Cowabunga is never a thing that was in the original comics initially. So
no, as I learned from the documentary, and here's where I can drop some knowledge, I guess. It was drawn actually from Snoopy, and there was a series of strips where Snoopy surfed, and Charles Schultz wrote Cowabunga, and the screenwriter of the initial pilot episodes for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series said, like, well, I'll have him say Cowabunga dude, and then it just carried on forward into that.
Yeah.
And so that's where we're at the credits of this. I'll tell you, Brad, based on rewatching this and kind of getting to experience the sincerity that lies within this, I'm definitely wanting to kind of dig more into turtle lore in a way that I hadn't before. I will point out, obviously, this was the last thing that Jim Henson worked on in his lifetime.
That's right. He died, I think, shortly after they'd finished all the puppeteering stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or shortly after the movie came out. I can't quite remember, but yeah, this was his last project.
Yeah, and it was also, and Brian Henson was much more involved than him technically, but Henson was basically overseeing and supervising a lot of stuff from afar. His indelible legacy to creating things that you'd never thought could exist ultimately ends with the Turtles, and a job well done, in my opinion.
Yeah, the animatronics of this movie were actually pretty revolutionary for their time. We also forgot to mention Corey Feldman is the voice of Donatello in this movie, and he would not return for the sequel because he was stuck in rehab.
Yeah.
And then Robbie Rist, the voice of Michelangelo, is the cousin on the Brady Bunch.
Oh, Cousin Oliver.
Cousin Oliver, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Some bit of trivia for you.
I'm glad he found other work.
Yeah, he actually did the voice through all three of them. So
yeah, that's not. By the way, that's not a dig, guys. I'm really just happy Robbie Rist was able to keep working. But yeah, I mean, just there's I think that what I found amazing watching this, especially through your eyes, is just like how you learn to appreciate a film that and it comes from that syndrome of we grow up with these things as kids, and then we get older. And we try to deny those things that gave us pleasure as children, whether it was for me it was stuff like Disney and all that stuff, and then to revisit it when you're older, and to the cynics who don't understand it the way Brad has understood it, and now I've come to understand it. Y'all can go fuck yourselves.
Wow. Real quick before I forget, as the credits keep growing. Ernie Reyes Jr.'s name just popped up because he's performing as Donatello. He would later, in the next movie, be Kino.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
which is actually it's a really great part of that second film is just watching some of those stuff like people like Ernie Reyes Jr. get to do the actual stuff. So, but yeah.
Partners in Crime are doing the Ninja Turtles theme right now.
Yeah,
as we're listening, pretty awesome. I used this song as inspiration for the Jean-Claude Van Damme end credits, where they recap the movie through the song.
That's and that actually now it's starting to connect a little.
Yeah, now you're getting it.
Yeah. This is also an age where you could do a tie-in song to a movie. You don't get that anymore. It was my biggest disappointment. In Men in Black 3, they have the Pitbull song, but they don't have Will Smith doing the song. So it just kind of felt like I'd been cheated out of an experience from the 90s we'll never get back.
Yeah. This next song is 9.95, and obviously I think Donatello made a reference to it before the movie ended, because I guess he calls Casey and April's Kiss 9.95. I'm not sure. I've never heard that as a thing, even in 1990. So I'm curious what the I have to ask the screenwriters where that comes from.
Is that well? It's not a reference to a band or anything, obviously.
No, the best I can think of is it's like, if you're rating something, 1 to 10, like, so this is like 9.95, so it's like almost perfect, but not quite. Like, is that what the reference is? Because that's just.
Well, he's not going to give them the satisfaction of 100%. Like, I mean, maybe, I don't know. Like,
yeah, so I know what the.
What is the mystery
is.
of 9.95? What is, if people who are listening, if you know if this is supposed to reference anything specific, please email us at realnerds@gmail.com and tell us what this is all about.
So the Motion Picture Association of America has numbered this movie 30181. If you've been watching recent movies, we're already up to 52,000 numbers. But yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
that's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles the movie.
Yeah, a wonderful, wonderful, fun experience. Obviously, if you're listening to this episode, you were watching this along with the movie, unless you're like me and you listen to isolated commentary tracks on their own like a weirdo. Brad, like, this was, the sincerity of this film like blew me away on this particular viewing, and it's no short part to your ability to sell your love for the Turtles and to embrace the things that do make them stand out as more than just, cartoony pop culture figures.
Yeah, I'm glad I can make more fans through, my appreciation of the Turtles. I hope you branch out and go beyond the movies and discover more.
I definitely will. And I definitely need to revisit the TMNT from the 2007, because I do remember liking that a lot, even as I was a cynical teenager going like, man, the Turtles are for kids, but Kevin Smith's in this and he might curse in it.
Yeah, I actually watched it like a couple weeks ago, and it's tough to when you have a Turtles movie, you kind of want the Shredder to be involved, but that movie's really more of just like random monsters. I guess they're not random; they're really like the Jersey Devil. Like they are based on a lot of different mythologies, like the Yeti and all that. But yeah, it's just like, if you're not familiar with the comics, drawing in elements like that, it seems pretty like strange.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was supposed to be it was supposed to be the start for a new TV show at one point that just never materialized, or
I think maybe they were going to do a new. I guess it kind of did, like. So yeah, I think after the movie they were thinking about like, oh, let's do a CGI series, in the style of the movie. But I think that kind of fell by the wayside after the movie didn't do well. But eventually it did come back, because in 2012 they did have a CGI TV series. So, but it wasn't in the same style as the movie.
Yeah,
because enough time had passed. So.
It's interesting. I forgot about this. Warner Brothers obviously had the North American rights. Weinstein Company distributed that film internationally.
Yeah, I forgot to bring that up. Yeah, the Weinstein title card comes up in that movie.
That's pretty much the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles experience.
So now we're going to jump on to the second movie while we're here.
No!
Just kidding.
Yeah, my dad's telling me we got to wrap it up.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for listening.
Yeah, Turtle Power.
Yep, Turtle Power. Hero and a half show, baby.
Thanks for doing this, Zach. I will.
Not a problem.
See you on the show this weekend.
See you on the show this weekend, bud. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Real Nerds Podcast. Real Nerds Podcast is a production of Nebulous Visions Multimedia. Thank you to Sparks Mandrill and Plan 9 Studios for our kick-ass theme song. Also, if you're in the Denver area and you're looking for a cool place to see movies, we see them at the Alamo Draft House in Littleton and now also in Sloan's Lake. Thank you to Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics for supplying us with all our comic needs, especially you, Andrew. You know who you are. And a big shout out to James's mom. I'm giving you an electronic hug that you can feel through the airwaves. Thanks for listening, and have a nice day.